Shalom, shalom. This video is about the Gospel of John chapter 11 verses 17 to 26, and it's about Martha's prayer for Lazarus' restoration. I'll read the text as I always do. So when Yeshua arrived, he discovered that Lazarus had been in the tomb already for 4 days. Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem. That's going over the Mount of Olives. And many of the Judeans had come to Martha and Miriam to console them about their brother. When Martha heard that Yeshua was coming, she went out to meet him, but Miriam sat in the house. Martha said to Yeshua, "Master, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. But I know even now that whatever you may ask of God, he will give you." Yeshua said to her, "Your brother will rise again." Martha said to him, "I know he will rise again in the resurrection on the last day." Yeshua said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if he dies, shall live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this?" Lazarus being in the tomb for 4 days relates to what happens to a body after death. Initial decomposition starts during the first 3 days, and it's driven by internal bacteria and enzymes that was present in the body before death. But by the 4th day, putrefaction starts. The body becomes bloated and insects respond to the invitation to dine on it. This is why Lazarus' sisters objected that Lazarus' body will smell when Yeshua commanded that the grave be opened. Martha's prayer when Yeshua came to them was, "Master, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know even now that whatever you may ask of God, he will give you." And she was exactly right. Lazarus would not have died, and his testimony to many would not have happened. So there was purpose in his death. Also, the parable of Lazarus and the rich man would only have been a story devoid of fact. Whatever Yeshua asks of the Father is given to him. This is as true today as it was when Martha prayed this in her eyewitness testimony. That is why Yeshua gave us authority to pray to the Father in his name, and we only need a mustard seed size of faith to do so, and our prayers will be answered as well. Martha's prayers were proven true by the events that followed. And Yeshua answered, and her brother rose again. But Martha did not have enough faith to pray for Lazarus' resurrection. It was the rich man from the parable, suffering tremendously in Sheol. It was his prayer that was answered for Lazarus to return to life so that his brothers can be saved. The rich man was the oldest son in the house of Annas, which ruled the position of high priest from 6 AD, when Annas himself became the high priest, until the temple was destroyed by the Romans in 70 AD. The rich man was none other than Eliezer ben Annas, the 66th high priest who ruled the temple for a very short period between 17 AD and 18 AD. The house of Annas was the Sadducees who advocated the falsehood that there was no life after death. When Lazarus died, so did Eliezer, the high priest, and then he knew the bitter truth about everlasting life in damnation. Note that he knew that he received his just reward, and he did not petition for mercy for a release. His prayer was for Lazarus to testify to his brothers that their doctrine was false. But just like Abram told Eliezer the high priest, people, even high priests who scoff at the Torah and the prophets, will also reject Lazarus' testimony. And the continuing house of Annas did exactly that. In fact, they murdered Lazarus because of his testimony. And that certainly is food for thought. I bid you shalom, shalom.